Start. Start.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is the team is very happy to introduce about the role play that we are going to play today. So the topic of our role play is the Aliko Dangote's Foundation Mission. It is an interview done by Zubera, and she will be interviewing Aliko Dangote, who's the CEO of Aliko Dangote Foundation, and also Bill Gates, a very well-known eminent person who's also the chairman of Melinda and Bill's Foundation. And the whole play is directed by Arti L. And also the script was written by Brainerd David Christopher and myself. And while we are looking about the cast, I myself, Ashik, will be playing the role of Aliko Dangote. Arti will be the interviewer, Zubera, and Brainerd David Christopher will play the role of Bill Gates. And our team also include Amal, and he will deals with all the technical aspects of the program. And the poster which you are seeing now is designed by Amal. And that's all about the team. That's it. That is it. Thank you so much.
Good, Ashik. Start. You can start.
So basically, we are team 11. Our logo is S square. Why S square? Because it's we are 4 members and our initial starts with S, so it's a square with S. And today we have the role play where the topic is AI Talk with Sundar Pichai. As you all know, Sundar Pichai is the CEO of Google and Alphabet. And the director of our role play is Simran Das, and due to technical issues, Simran Das and Sijimon couldn't attend the meeting today, but they had contributed equally. And the scriptwriter was Sparshana and Sijimon, and the actors, myself, Shilpa Shubho, as the interviewer, Hazel Augustus, and Sparshana M as Sundar Pichai. And the poster and the logo designed by myself, Shilpa Shubho. So this is what we are going to do today.
Okay. Good, Shilpa. Start. You can start.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Zubera Yusufo, Managing Director and CEO of Aliko Dangote Foundation. I'd like to share a small story, but a heartfelt one, the first time when I met a severely malnourished boy. He was 2 years old, but then he looked like a 6-month-old infant. His skin was peeling off. At first, I thought he was a burn victim, and then he was trying to cough, but then it was coming out as a whimper. It was because he simply didn't have the energy to cough. I wanted to cry, I wanted to weep, but then I didn't. I asked his mother about him, and she was like, you know, he was all fine. At first he got cough, and then diarrhea. Ever since then, he's like this. Now, this woman didn't understand that her child was severely malnourished. She didn't understand that a child was sick. She didn't understand that a child, even after he survived, would soon reach a stage where any kind of intervention would be too late to save him. Now, they never had a proper community support, but the child was admitted in a very well-funded hospital in Nigeria. Now, this got me thinking, what about the children who live in the rural hospital, who were admitted in the rural hospital? As I speak today, there are more than 2 million children in Nigeria who are as malnourished as the child I first met. The Aliko Dangote Foundation's mission is to bring this number from 2 million to 0. As I speak, I'd like to call upon Mr. Aliko Dangote, Chairperson and President of Aliko Dangote Industries Limited, and I'd like to call upon Ashik Mohammed. I'd like to call upon Bill Gates, co-chairman of Bill and Melinda Foundation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you all here. So my first question is to Aliko Dangote. As we all call you Heji. So my first question is to you. So how important, no matter from where the children are born, for children in order to lead a healthy or productive life, how important is nutrition? Can you talk about the role of nutrition?
Sure, Zavera. Thank you. It's really happy to be here today, and especially with Bill. And coming to your question, I think one of the greatest factors that mind progress is malnutrition, which, a lot of kids, they don't really have access to enough food and also nutritious food. So, but we have done in Nigeria, because it's a new who started this very, very long time ago. Because if you look at it, it is example to do with iodization. Iodization started in Nigeria in 1993. At that time, the coverage was about 40%, and by 2005, who had already reached about 95% of coverage. And as we speak today, who have reached 98% of coverage in iodization. On food, what we have done to make sure is how do we get good nutritious food to the society. So what we did in 2002, when we first started the refining of sugar, while the first company in Africa to introduce fortification into sugar, because it took us a long time to be able to figure out, okay, at what point do you actually apply the fortification? So what we did was we worked with, the Central Organization of Nigeria. We worked with UNICEF, and also some technical people, say Occupy, and how do we really, create these equipments where they will now dose the vitamins at the end of it, so that our children will be able to consume that with that one new government brought out the policy where all this food is majority of them like sugar, wheat products, and means flour pasta, noodles, and vegetable oil, and all the sugar, all of these brought out regulations where they said it is mandatory to apply vitamin fortification. So majority all the companies now in Nigeria, what we do is that we have food, find all these products so that children will be able to, have access to this without, going to drugstore or wherever. And with this, 80% of all the companies that produce food were very, very pleased. And we want to thank Bill and Melinda's Gates Foundation for calling for a general between for everybody to sign up. And I said that, yes, they will continue it for try there are food products. So that is how we are now getting that. On the other side, on a liquid on a Dangote Foundation, we are actually, we have what you call integrated nutrition program of which now we are trying to, I'm sure I have spoken about it earlier, we are going to make sure that we have access minimum, to take out 2 million children out of being malnourished. So it's one of the things that conditions do. But now Dangote is also in the process of rice milling. We are setting up about 1 million tons of rice, and all our rice will apply this nutrition, vitamins over this one, because the main food that we eat in Nigeria is many rice. People eat rice in the morning, they eat rice in the afternoon, and they eat rice in the night. So we are now trying to introduce something, and also we are going to the government to make it mandatory for all the rice that we consume in Nigeria to be fortified. So this will help quite a lot. That's it.
Thank you very much, Heji. Now coming to Bill. Bill, as we all know, you and Heji, you both have a great influence. You both are the most influential people in this world, right? But then you have decided to collaborate with private sector, with philanthropists, with government sector in order to achieve this nutritional goal in Nigeria. So can you talk about the role about, your coalition and wider food fortification? Can we discuss about that?
Oh, yeah. Hi. It's a nice question. It's a great question. So it's really important that we focus more on the nutritional side of things. And because 40% of the children who survive malnutrition, they end up with limited or lacking physical and mental development. And also a big part of this can be reduced through food fortification. And but to really do this the right way, we have to make sure that the requirements are there and the government is able to measure it. And also we should make sure that nobody is making extra money by not doing what they have to do in order to get these children the food that they need. And also the greatest example that this has been an effective endeavor to help the children is the salt ionization advancement, which has helped many people who have had salt deficiency and iodine deficiency. They have overcome the problems of the side effects due to this. And also now we are taking 5 additional micronutrients where the costs are quite low. And these also include vitamin D and vitamin B12. And this has had a very positive benefit and impact. I mean, trying to make sure that in every country where there are children, that these vitamins and micronutrients are incorporated, and it is there in whatever they eat, whether it's rice or bouillon or wheat or whatever staple food that they have. We want to ensure that it is incorporated and it's there in every children so that they can get the nutrition right.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Now, my next question is for both of y'all. You know, there are so many smallholder farmers in Nigeria who are facing a lot of difficulties to meet their agro-processor needs, right? So what's the role of Bill Foundation and what's the role of Dangote Foundation? So how we are trying to incorporate these smallholder farmers into this entire process? Can we talk a bit about that?
Sure. What are we doing in Dangote Foundation? While we make sure that the growth of our rice, we get all this growth from small outgrowth to be involved, and then we have already arranged, where the banks will fund this small outgrowth. For example, our entire rice for that 1 million will actually be done by this outgrowth. And so, which means we are going to create wealth, among them, and we will give them the rice, seedlings, we give them the implements, we give them the fertilizers, of course, which, going to start making from January. And then at the end of the day, they will sell the rice to us. But if our price is not right, they can go and sell to anybody. And so that's what we have on the sugar. What we are doing it that we are going to control about 60%, and among that about 40% of that will be done by small outgrowers. So we already have integrated them right into our own system, and it will really empower them. That's what we are doing today at the moment.
Well, that's a really nice question, and our priority at the moment is the smallholders. It's actually quite easy for certain crops where we help them with inputs, and but it's kind of challenging and hard for other crops. But the key measure for success in this is productivity and the economics, so that we can improve for those small holders where, especially in particularly of North Nigeria, there is a lot of problem with farming and the people not getting enough food items. So we try to fix this nutritional issue by providing the farmers all the necessary implements that they need on the spot.
Thank you so much. Now, the last but not the least question, like I've been waiting and wanting to ask this question. Like we all know you both are great friends. So can you talk about, I would love to know about your journey. So what was the most surprising thing that you learned about each other and figured out about each other? Can you talk about your journey?
See, first, for me, I think when I started my foundation in 1994, I never learned, realized that, we had this massive challenge in health sector. Really, it was a mind-boggling when we now have this, agreement to now cooperate and now collaborating with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And that really opened up my eyes to realize that, look, there are a lot of challenges in health. And honestly, one of the things that made me to be very shocked and surprised, at the time I hadn't really had the opportunity of meeting Bill or even interacting with him. By meeting Bill, it actually made me totally a different person, thinking that, yes, this is somebody who really has nothing to do for example, in Africa and Nigeria, he's putting his money, he's ordered everything. He's very committed at helping humanity. That really surprises me. I mean, it surprised me a lot about Bill. And I realized that he's a very simple person, and a very soft-spoken person who's always down to earth and always ahead with a very smiling face.
For Mr. Dangote, it was a really nice and fun experience getting to know him. We would travel a lot around Lagos, and the traffic over there is really incredible. So we had a lot of time to sit and talk. Sometimes I'd be showing him my charts and the stats, and I'll be asking him, I'll be telling Aliko, come on, we got to do something. Like this place called Sokoto has really less vaccination rates, and we'll try to do something about this. And he'll really tell me why don't we call Governor and ask him something we can do about it. And within a minute, before you know it, we'll be having the Governor on the line. And he'll be he'll be discussing with us, and we'll be trying to make a way to make this happen. So Mr. Aliko, he has a really good ability to use the relationships that he's built over such a long period of time, and he brings them and helps them to implement into whatever vision he has for whatever foundations and whatever social work that he tries to do. I, on the other hand, I'm really not like that. I'm really shy. I don't like calling people. I'd rather just email them if I need any help or something. And so what comes out of this is twice a year, me and Aliko, we sit and we do a group call, a video call conference with 6 of the governors in the northern states of Nigeria. And we discuss with them, the measures that we need to take to increase the vaccine coverage and what's the supply chain, how is it working over there, whether there are any challenges over there, whether they've been efficiently doing their things properly. And we will be trying to, but the forefront of all this, what makes this possible is the communication that Aliko has, the way he can bring people together on a project. So that's a really fantastic thing, and it's phenomenal for me to see a man who is so passionate to improve his country.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. This was really amazing. You guys are great. Thank you.
It was a great time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the honors mine. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, good. Neatly done. Okay. Start. You can start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our show, S Square. I'm your own Hazel Augustus. Today, we have a special guest who is an inspiration to all of us around the globe. If one were to curate a list of the most powerful personalities in the Silicon Valley, it would be incomplete without Sundar Pichai. Yes, Pichai Sundararajan, better known as Sundar Pichai, is an Indian-American business executive. He is the CEO of Google. Born in Madras, India, Pichai earned his degree from IIT Kharagpur in engineering. Welcome, sir, to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I hope you are doing well, sir. As we know, it's the time of pandemic. I hope everything is well and good.
Yes, by God's grace, everything is going well. Thank you. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. So yes, as I said earlier, you are an inspiration to so many of us. How do you feel about it?
Okay, first of all, thank you, Shilpa. You're too kind for saying that. But to be honest, if I am to answer that question, being in this position makes me feel blessed. Every single day, I wake up to feeling like, I am in this position and I am able to address a crowd. I am able to, inspire at least a few, maybe not the whole crowd, but at least a few. And that is a blessing. I consider that as an achievement, as a laurel. I mean, but then again, there are times when I feel a little cautious. That is, if something goes wrong, you are in a position where you can, there are people looking up to you. So one too many times I feel cautious as well before doing something. I think twice, thrice. So yeah, I would definitely say being an inspiration is a great achievement because it all happened, if this question was asked to me a few years ago, I wouldn't know what to answer because I wouldn't be able to inspire, or I wouldn't be sure. But right now I'm in a position where I can say that I am able to inspire at least one or two, and that feels great. Thank you.
So my next question will be like, basically we know Google have artificial intelligence or AI, but many of us, including me, doesn't know the proper meaning of it. So what is artificial intelligence and why is it important and how does it work in Google?
Okay, to answer the first question, I'll try to keep it simple. Now, artificial intelligence or AI is a way of imitating human intelligence. Yeah, that is, computer systems are made to work in a way that humans actually work. That is, the human brain actually works. There is, we say that there is this common notion among people that only there are certain certain roles or certain decisions that only humans can make, only humans can do or perform those tasks. But due to the developments or improvisations made in AI, it is proved now that even computers can work the same way. Computers can make decisions. Computers can do speech recognition. Computers can perform multiple tasks. So yeah, that is AI in short, or if we are to put it in a very brief form, that's what you call as AI. Now, the second question, how it works. So the working, to be put, can be it can be easily said, but it's a tedious task. It's a huge process, but to keep it simple, I'll say that first of all, you would have to, find the data. I mean, the availability of the data. There are n number of data in the world, and only a certain amount of data can be, would be right. So, you have to find the right amount of data, and then you have to, if we are to, just a second. Okay. Yeah. So first, what we have to do is the user have to define the use case. What do you mean by the use case? The use case means we are defining what the task is all about. So once the user's use of the task is being explained, the next thing what the user have to do is check for the availability of the data, and then do a data exploration. Yeah, find there are n number of data you can find. So find the data and then define a model with that data. Once you have made the model, you can make the model work. Once that model is worked, or once it starts working, you automate it. How do you work it? You automate it. And once the automation is done, what do? We keep updating. I'll put in use, I'll use a simple example. If you were to take the case of a phone, you purchase a phone. Yeah, you do a detailed research, you do exploration there, and then you purchase a phone. And once you have purchased a phone, do you stop it there? No, you update it. You update it every now and then. So that's what you do here as well in the case of AI. So this is how AI works. Now, is AI important? Yes, it's very important, because we humans are always on the lookout of making things much more easier, right? Like, we are always on the lookout of finding things that would definitely make our tasks easier. So that's what AI does as well. And it also works just like the human brain, which is a plus. If they are to take decisions, or if we are to do speech recognition or any sort of tedious task, AI can do that. So definitely AI is pretty important, and it's definitely going to grow much more in the coming years. I think I answered your question.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that answer. So, I'm actually curious, what is the biggest challenge that Google AI faces today?
Like we say, multiple things, whatever product or whatever situation we take it all, like we say the case of a coin has two sides, a heads and a tails. Similarly, every situation or every product has two sides, a positive and a negative side. Similarly, even AI has a few challenges, and one of them would be that the lack of trust. Yeah, people find it hard to trust these products, and another one would being too computer power. Now, the thing is, working on it can be a little slow, or steps made a little more faster. And now power is an issue. That is people power. People power learning is something that it's not the disadvantage, which is that there are not IT industry that's another people in order to know more about AI. So that's another challenge we are facing currently, but hopefully we'll be able to rectify all this soon.
Yes, yes. So, what are the main goals of Google AI?
The main goal, I would say, is to, make all the data, data in the world available to the people, like in a very short span, in a much more easier way. They should be able to access all this information. If they are to, these days, not many people are ready to go or take the effort and read books, right? So if something like an AI or something, if we are to take the case of an Alexa, something like that, So it's pretty easy, it's pretty accessible. So, and things like these which make life easier are always a plus. And we always are looking forward to purchasing those kind of products, or looking forward to, getting to know these products. So that's what we are aiming for. We are actually aiming for, making all this data available to every single person out there.
So like, I'm just curious to know, like, what is the next biggest thing that you are expecting in next 5 to 10 years, maybe?
Have to wait, but then again, I can give you a hint. There is, you know, AI is what we're working on currently. We're also working into the stream called banking, and but to be honest, it's the cornerstone would definitely be AI. We are definitely trying to make some improvisations, and we are planning to come up with a whole lot of things regarding AI, and also AI being something that is, it can be a core in the case of multiple industries like health, agriculture, other industries, IT industries. So yeah.
It's just a curious question. Like, do you feel you have achieved enough here in your life?
Oh, never. That's not, no. I mean, there's still so much to achieve. There's still so much I would like to share to the people. There is so much insight I would like to give the people. It's a long way to go. That thirst is never quenched. So yeah.
So thank you, sir, for giving your valuable time to enlighten us with these informations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shilpa. I had a good time.
And that's the end of our show. Until we meet next time, I'm Hazel Augustus, standing out. Bye.
Start. Yes, your points will be calculated. What happened?
So, Mr. Bill Gates, I have a question. I always had this question. Is it really hard to be this rich? I mean, you must have a lot of money, so it must be really stressful, like, so how do you manage it?
You mean manage my wealth?
Yeah, kind of, because you must be getting so much money from so many places, right? So,
Yeah. I guess when you get to a certain point, it doesn't matter to you anymore. You just had a limit to it. So I don't think about it anymore. I just want to use my wealth or whatever I can to make the most impact I can do for the people. And how do I manage it? I have literally trusted people to look after my account.
thank you, sir.
Hope that answers your question.
Yes, it was really wonderful.
Okay. Yes, start.
No. I'm just asking question
Yes.
to Sundar. So you did your IIT in Kharagpur, right? Can you tell us more about your college life? What did you? So how do we become a CEO like you in the future? If I want to replace you.
Work hard. Yeah, that's the first thing I would say. And with hard work, we'll have to do some smart work. And it was a hard process, not gonna lie. For the first year, I had to struggle a little, and after that I did score pretty well. So that was how my journey was. If we are to put our hearts and minds into something, you'll surely achieve something. You'll surely achieve what you want. If you have a set goal, then you're sure to achieve what you want. So if you want to replace me, sure, you will.
Okay. Yeah, that's all, sir.
Start.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Kevin. I am representing behalf of the Oracle. I'm the manager of Oracle Enterprises. So my question is for Sundar Pichai. So you're talking about the AI technology. So my one question is, what do you think, like, will AI capture over the entire present business scenario? Like, will AI be ruling over all the business enterprises in the coming future or not?
this is my personal opinion. So, the idea of one person would completely vary from another person. So I would, I would like to give you a disclaimer that would be my personal opinion, but I personally feel like it would definitely, overrule. And I don't feel like it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. If we are to use, like I said before, if like a coin has two sides, the heads and tails. Similarly, if we are to take anything, it has a positive and a negative side. So if we are to use the things in the right way, and if we have the resources, then why not put it to good use, right? So if we are to use AI in the right way in all the fields or sectors you need, then it's sure to be a hit. It's already a hit. So, and it's only going to grow from here on. So yeah, it will. And I don't find anything wrong with it.
Sure, that's a great point. Also, to add on, being the CEO of Google yourself, how much has AI contributed? Have you ever started AI using AI technology in Google as of such? Like, have you started not on a main basis, but then here and there, have you started using an AI technology in your base of operations? Sorry, excuse me, in your base of operations anytime soon?
Well, I mean, all our lives are being, influenced by one or the other kind of tech devices, right? So even I am into it. I do use a couple of products that are AI influenced, and hence came up with the idea of this. So yeah, I think I answered the question.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Balaji, the senior manager from SBI. So my question to Sundar Pichai is about how would you control AI system when it is more smarter than us? How would you actually control them? So would you like to give a brief about it?
I can actually give you the simple working of AI so that, even from a layman's point of view, they could understand. So this is how an AI works. So initially, we define a use case. That is, we define, we are the user, say you are the user, and you define the tasks, the number of tasks or the particular task you want to get done with. You define the tasks, and then what you have to do is to verify the availability of data. That's what you do, right? If you are to do a project in school or college, you identify what your problem is. And then what you do is that you search for the data. Is this particular data available on Google? Is this data available on books? So you define, you find the availability of data, and then what you do is do data exploration. That is, like you explore places. You explore multiple data. You might have grabbed a lot amount of data, and what you have to do is you have to pick a few data, and so that you can filter it. Like you filter it, you pick whatever data you find is relevant for regarding your question, or which suits as the answer to the question you want or the problem you need to solve. So after that, you define a model. And then in this model, you automate it. Yeah, once you have defined the model, you automate it. And once you have automated it, what you do is you start making it work. Once it's once that started working, don't stop it there. You have to update it. The example, I would like to quote the example again that I stated before. That is the case of a phone. You keep updating your phone because we keep getting updates every now and then. So yeah, that's how AI works. You find the problem and find the data if it's available, and then with that data you come up with a model and make it work, and then you keep on updating it. So this is a simple working of AI.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm satisfied with the response though. So yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Prince Haji from Papergrid. My question is to the designers. I mean, which app did you use? I mean, to design your posters?
Yes, you can unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Gee, I have used Photoshop CC 2016 for designing this one.
Okay.
That's all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, start.
Good evening, sir. So my question is to Sir Bill Gates, sir. So, sir, can I ask you, what would you tell 20-year younger you? Like 20 years before, what will, if you could meet a 20-year younger you, what would you tell him?
Okay, 20-year younger me, I guess I'll tell him to make more mistakes and take more risks. So when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was a very shy person. I was more conservative. Even though my investments or my technology was innovative at the time, personally, I was more of a shy person. Unlike Mr. Dangote, he was a very, very phenomenal person who has really good people skills. So I wish I could teach myself what I've learned through hard work and going through ups and downs, to take more risks and also to be more outgoing to the people.
So you would ask him to take more risks.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
You can ask.
So I'm Rion of Microsoft, actually. I would like to ask Mr. Gates, so what made you to concentrate on the philanthropy works?
Philanthropy, yeah. Basically, I came from, when I grew up, I saw a lot of things that I wished I could help or I could fix if I had the means to. And when I started, I really didn't imagine that I'd be one of the richest people on this earth. But somehow by God's grace, I've come up to this, and I really want to use what I can and what I'm able to do, whatever's at my disposal, my resources, to do something which will inspire somebody who receives that goodness, and they would hopefully do something better than what I can do in the next generation, hopefully.
How important is it for today's generation to do?
You mean how important is it to give back to the community?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good to give back, because over history, I've seen the people who have had the biggest impacts. They were the people who gave back, and most of these people's names you'll never even hear. I'm just one of the lucky people who you read about in the news. But there are so many people who have given to society, like Nikola Tesla, Einstein, and even Einstein also, he had so many things that he couldn't really share with people because it was too revolutionary. But in places that we do not see, it has an effect. So to young people, I would say you do the best that you can do, not as a profit motive, but try to make a world a better place, because the way we're going, the world seems to be going in a really bad direction. So we need all the help from the next generation, you guys. So we hope we can pass the torch on to you, and you can take it forward and save our planet before it's too late.
Okay, Rian. So next month, beginning only, we will put up in the group what is your score for this one. So I hope everybody done well, and this should be the role model for others. I think still now some of the students, they are not opening their video. What happened? No, all the recordings are going on. Everybody can watch. Even you can watch after 20 years. This will be available in our YouTube. So try to have good practice. Okay. Nice. So well done. So I hope you understand the concept of samvaad today. So last 2 minutes, if any students are having doubt regarding this samvaad activity, you can ask now. I am passing the recording.